So Marvel has done a lot of controversial storylines over the years, and some are way worse than others. Like, I can't even talk about what happened with Carol Danvers and her baby, but one of the weirdest creative decisions that Marvel ever made was when they race swapped the Punisher right in the middle of his story. So let's talk about it. Now, this man behind me is not some variant of the Punisher. He's not another man who took up the Punisher title. This is the original Frank Castle, and Marvel just decided to do some really weird shit to him. In The Punisher issue number 59, the Punisher is in prison, and the Kingpin sends two of his men to go attack Frank Castle. Frank's face is cut up extremely badly, so he uses his disfigurement to escape from jail, and he ends up meeting this woman who used to be a doctor, but is now a drug addict. Frank says he wants to be unrecognizable. He doesn't even want his best friend to know who he is. So the doctor puts him under and she starts performing surgery. So the doctor reconstructs his face and injects melanin directly into the skin of Frank Castle, turning Frank into a black man. And honestly, weird decision. In a world full of superheroes that wear masks, if Frank didn't want to be recognized, he could have just worn a mask, honestly. Now, after the Punisher ends up getting race swapped, he wants to leave New York because he's still in hiding, so he ends up heading to Chicago. On his way to Chicago, though, Frank is going to start passing out at the wheel because he just had surgery, and some cops are going to see him driving erratically, and they're going to pull him over. Frank is then going to get into an altercation with the police, and they're just going to start beating down on him until Luke Cage shows up and saves him, and they end up going into hiding together. Now, the Punisher and Luke Cage end up teaming up to try to take down some smack dealers in the middle of Chicago, and the issues were actually pretty cool. It was a pretty cool team up. It's just such a weird premise. And what's even weirder is instead of addressing it or making Frank go through some kind of surgery to turn back to normal, he just kind of fades back into a white person. Like, over the next two issues, his skin gets lighter and lighter until he's just back to normal Frank Castle. It's explained in the issue that Frank needs to have frequent injections of melanin for him to stay inside of his disguise, so he stopped taking them, and eventually he just kind of fades back into the OG Punisher. This is honestly one of the weirdest and funniest things I've ever seen come out of Marvel Comics, but let me know in the comments, what do y'all think about the fact that Marvel decided to race swap the Punisher? And if you like this video, follow if you want to see more.